Okay, so let's begin. I just want to mention that I will be coloring this illustration in real time. So, if you're impatient, you can always skip ahead or you can actually color along with me. I might speed up some sections, but most of this class will be in real time. I I swatched every color in my 36 tin of Critic Color. I just want to mention too that if you don't have the Critic Color, you can use another set of pastel pencils and try to match the same colors. I went ahead and I swatched all the colors, and I like to just put it on the side of my illustration. It's just great to see exactly what I'm using, and it's also good to keep them as a reference. If I ever want to do another portrait and I want to use the same colors, I'll know exactly the colors I used and for what. So these are the face color palettes. And so I am going to start with uh, basically the darkest. Well, it's not necessarily the darkest, but um, this is the sienna, and I'm just going to outline around the face. So, and even around the eyes. This is just going to give the face a little bit of depth and more of a natural tone because I don't want to see those black lines underneath. Now I'm going to start with adding the undertone color. I'm taking the Glacier Blue. Our skin has a lot of color underneath, blues, purples, reds, and you usually can't see that when you're looking at a photograph, but in a painting, to bring out the skin tones, um, adding an undertone color will really make your painting pop a little bit more. And again, I use a few references, and if you go back to my Pinterest board, you can see a lot of the references that I used. And I'm just going to apply the blue around the face where it would be darker. Now I'm going to take the blending stump and I'm going to go over all the pigment wherever I applied the color, and I'm just going to smudge it together. And as you can see, the blue kind of disappears. I'm going to add a little bit of that shading right under the neck to make the face pop out, and on the sides of the neck. So as I'm blending the two colors together, the skin tone is going to come out. I'm going around the hairline where it would be darker. Now I'm going to go ahead with the tan dark, and I'm going to apply that near the shaded area. And I'm going to apply that all over the face, except I'm going to leave a space just in the middle. So as you can see, I left a white space just in the middle. This is where I'm going to take the next color, Tan Light, and I'm going to apply that in the section, like right in the middle. I'm going to work my pencil outwards, and I'm actually going to blend even over the last color. So at this point, I can color over the tan dark. I just color over my face. I'm not really worried. Even if you color a little bit into the eye area, it doesn't make a difference. I'm going to apply the color even on the neck. Now I'm going to take my biggest blending stump and I'm just simply going to blend all the colors together. This is going to smooth out the pigment. It's going to give your painting a smoothed out look. And I just blended everywhere. I bring the color even up to the edges. By doing this, you will blend all the colors together, and it will give your portrait a smooth effect, a smooth result. Okay, I need to deepen the values, which basically means shading of the face. And I'm going to take out the bluish purple and I'm going to add it under the neck. And then now I have to decide where I want the light source to be. So I decided to have it on the left side. So I'll just pretend that the sunshine or the light is shining on that side. So I'm going to go ahead and darken up on the right side. So I'm going to apply this purple color. Purple is a great shading color. I'm just blending it throughout. I'm going to darken up that side with purples. I'm going very lightly. I go layer by layer. You'll see at the end, I will be applying a little bit more throughout the course. Right now, I'm applying just a little bit at a time because I know that I can always darken it later on. So as you can see, I just want to demonstrate that the light is shining on the left side, and so I want to darken up the right side. And I apply the color, and then I take my blending stump and I smooth it out. Even under the lip, that way I want the lips to be kind of pouty. So on top of the lip, on the corners of the lip, this is going to bring out the lips. I'm trying to create an illusion. That's what painting and coloring is all about. You're trying to create an illusion that things are popping out, that is not just one-dimensional. And you might think, well, purple is not really a skin color, but it is an undertone color. Okay, here I'm adding this Indian red. I'm going to add this color as a cheek color, but this red, it doesn't only appear on the cheeks. I'm going to even add it on other areas. For example, under the lips, just under the chin, a little bit on her nose. Give her nose some color. I think it gives a cute look. And there we go on the other cheek. I'll be applying it even a little bit on the corner of the eyes. I have to apologize, it's a little bit out of focus. All the other classes will be in focus. I guess my camera just didn't get in focus in this part. Anyways, all right, so then I take my blending stump and then I'm going to blend the color, and I just push my blending stump towards the hairline. and then I fade it out going towards the nose. Again, bring it up to the lip, to the just bottom of the chin, and then I roll my blending stump to fade it out, just so the edges are not so hard. I blended it out even on the corner of the nose. And just encircling motions. And as you can see, you can use your fingers, not a problem at all. I'm adding a little bit depth around the eyes. And even in the crease of the eye. And the color remains on the blending stump, so you can just use the blending stump to push the color around. Okay, so I'm going to deepen the shading and the values here. So I'm going to get out my bluish purple again, and I need to darken the right side of her face. So I'm just going to add the purple again, under her chin, around the neck, the side of the neck, the side of her chin, under the nose. I'm going to darken up the nostrils because the nostrils are a very dark part of the face. And then I'm just going to blend it out again with my trusty blending stump. The blending stump has quite a bit of color at this point, so blending it all together, all the colors are mixing up together, and it's really going to give this beautiful effect. You don't need to clean out your blending stump each and every time you use it. Now, if you had like a different color, like a very, if you had a orange or a bright green, yes, I would say to color it. But because we've been using it all this time with the blues, the purples, the tan, the tan dark, using the same blending stump is perfectly fine. So I'm just around the nose area, I just left it white. Okay. So with the Indian red, I'm adding a little bit red just on her tear ducts. Because if you look at her eyes, they do have a little bit of red there. And I'm just blending it out. I don't want it to be too harsh, so I will blend it out just to soften it up. Okay, so this is the tan light, and I will be applying it to the top of the nose. The top of the nose would be the most furthest from the face, so I want the top of the nose to sort of pop out. And I'm adding it just a little bit under the eye, a little bit on top of the cheek towards the nose. So I'm adding in the light again onto her face. And I'm just going over her face with the tan light. I'm taking my blending step. At this point, I did take the cleaner side in this case, and now I'm just blending all the colors together to smooth out the pigment. And we're just going to take a break from the face now and move on to the eyes.